So welcome to part 3 of our behind the scenes Vendée tour. Any of you that followed my last Vendée Globe will know exactly who this man is.
How embarrassing.
Those of you who didn't and are new to the party, this is Andi Robertson. Andi, what's your job?
Well, I'm the English redactor. So I'm the English journalist. I do all the writing and I do all the presenting of the live TV shows every day.
So most importantly, Andi is the man you're going to see on the Vendée live shows that become rather addictive.
They did. I mean, I think, to be honest, the last one really filled a gap in people's lives in the middle of COVID, didn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, the response we had around the world at that time, and even now, was incredible. You know, so many people are excited that it's coming back.
So you're a freelance journalist and you're working for the Vendée organisation. Kind of, the Vendée Globe's on a 4-year cycle. I know how big it is for me. How big is it for you?
It's big for me. I mean, it's become part of my life. I did the first one in 04-05 and I've done them all since then. And it becomes, I say, addictive as the same as it is for you.
So what is it about the Vendée that grips you?
I think it's the level of human endeavour. You know, at the top level, it's almost normalised. At the adventure level, it's such an endeavour. And the stories over the years have just been incredible.
And what does your day look like? Like, how are you going to manage the next 3 months? What does your workload look like? What does your day look like? What do you actually do?
Not dissimilar to yours. No, but what I love in a sense is that I do tend to follow a very, very similar routine. Obviously, you get a little bit less sleep at night, but we tend to follow the same kind of rough program over the course of the day. But I mean, we get up at maybe 6:15 or something and do the first story. We'll get some input generally from the skippers overnight, perhaps with a little bit of input from race direction. So we'll do a first story generally online about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Then we'll have a briefing with the race direction and the management of the race. And their weather specialist, Christian Dumard, will give us an update. Then we'll do what we call spare interviews. So we'll speak to skippers, and generally it might be bilingual skippers. So we'll speak to them early. They're recorded, and then they're played back in the live show. And then we start preparing for the live show, which this time I believe will be at 1:45, rather than straight after the French show.
1:45 on YouTube?
On YouTube, yes. Yeah. So we start preparing for that, and then that show I think will last half an hour. Mm-hmm. And then in the afternoon, immediately after that, we write the press release. And this time what's different is we don't have the Vendée, what was previously the Vendée Flash, which was a little short news update last thing in the day. So that's no longer happening, which is good news for me. But it's a fairly full day. And obviously if you have, you know, things happening during the day, then it gets pretty busy.
What do you find most frustrating or most difficult?
To be honest, I think trying to organise the live show, because we obviously don't have live guests in the studio, but I think at the moment I have a list of 60 potential invitees.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. So
getting them and making sure we have the right people.
Punditry,
the right people. So we will, again, like we did last time, we had a hardcore of 5 or 6 guys, well-known guys and girls who are following the race every day, and they'll be our kind of core experts, and then beyond that, it's a real mix. I mean, everything from your mum and dad to, you know, Prince Albert.
Mary Hare, star of Vendée Live.
Exactly, to Prince Albert of Monaco last time. All kinds of people from all walks of life, and I think it'd be nice to try and reflect the diversity of the audience this time a little bit.
And what's the best moments for you? What do you enjoy the most?
The finishes, without a doubt. Because again, they follow the.
Do you get emotional?
Oh, only with you. No, God knows. I mean, there's so many stories over the years that I've been reduced to tears many times. But I mean, like last time, a typical example last time was Kevin Escoffier, you know, where that was so tough and dramatic, and we just didn't know. And I can remember going to bed, having, you know, stopped for a few hours, going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning and just not knowing what was going to happen, whether he was going to be found. There's only been
That's really tough as a journalist.
It's really tough.
Well,
no, of course, but you're reasonably professional, but it's still somebody who's out there. And the same thing was the case way back in 2008, 2009 with Jean Le Cam
Yeah.
at Cape Horn. These things happen that you just, and Jan Elias, the same race. These things happen that you just have to be able to step back a little bit, but still you're not knowing what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, all of that, watching all of Kevin's sinking unfold on the water as well. You're just hanging there, you're being drip fed information. You're hanging, waiting to understand how the story ends.
Yeah. No, that's pretty tough. But equally, I say the finishes, I mean, I don't, for whatever reason, now get to go out very often onto the water and see people finishing, but it's still, of every kind of sport you'll ever do, seeing somebody coming back over the horizon who's a tiny, tiny little dot and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and knowing that the only place they've been has been Les Sables d'Olonne, the Les Sables d'Olonne. It's just a massive, massive experience.
Are you nervous?
Not really, no, not now. Not now, no. I mean, we've got a live show on the start day, which will be quite interesting because it's a big, long day. 40 skippers, 40 boats going off the start line.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've done it often enough to be able to fill, but we've also got Dee Cafari joining us this time, which will be great fun.
Yeah.
Dee's a very special character, knows the race very well, and will have a great insight.
Yeah.
What about you?
Nervous. I cannot describe it.
Yeah.
I can't describe it.
Is it very different to last time in terms of the nerves, or?
I think it is actually, because I've got more at stake. I feel like I've got more at stake.
Mm-hmm.
Last time it was just into the unknown, absolute unknown,
Mm-hmm.
and it had been, a massive battle to get to the line, and I just turned up with what I had, absolutely adamant I'd do the best I could with it. And we're the same now. It has been another battle of different kind. We've got what we've got. I'm determined to do the best I can with it, but
It's the unknown, isn't it?
I really want to finish this race. And nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody
But
knows.
it's the same for everyone. Does that tension diffuse when you speak to other skippers, or what's the general mood in because the skippers are?
No, I think everyone's pretty tight about it, to be honest. I think everyone feels the same way, but I don't necessarily think there's no release in talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, it's always going to be there, it's lurking there. And actually, I know one thing I'm good at, and that is when I cross the start line, I pack it up, I put it away, because whatever will be, will be.
Yeah.
But now it's rolling around my head all day and all night. I think I just want to go now.
And how will you manage the next few days? I mean, I'm just interested because it's so important that you're not too tired when you start.
I need to put some massive boundaries around a lot of things. I've kind of scheduled time that I'm going to look at the weather, time that I'm going to have a sleep. I'm still kind of working really hard on my fitness. I won't start tapering that until probably Thursday. But the other thing is, this last week, all of the involvement from other people is ramping up. So we've got a huge contingent coming over from the UK. We've got sponsors flying in, we've got dinners and lunches. My family are arriving, my friends are all arriving. And everybody is here to support me. And the thing I struggle with is
saying no.
Yeah, I feel massively guilty. They've all made a huge effort to be here to support me. And for me not to give them my time is not normal for me. And it's really difficult to say no. So I'm trying to say no.
And you've got to get your 8 hours sleep a day, haven't you? A night?
More than that.
What are you after?
I'm going 10.
Good luck.
Well, thank you, Andy.
No, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been nice to interview you for a
Great stuff.
change. Let's swap over, shall we?
We shall. As of now.